The air was hot and heavy. In the center of the massive alien arena stood a single human man. Dirt covered his face and his clothes were torn. His hands were bound with glowing metal cuffs that sparked every few seconds. Thousands of alien eyes stared down at him from the stands above. Some laughed, some booed, some threw sharp words he didn't understand. But the message was clear. This was no welcome. This was a show, and he was meant to lose. A massive gate creaked open with a grinding roar. The crowd went silent for a second. Then, cheers. Loud, angry, excited. She entered, an alien woman, tall and powerful, wearing armor that shimmered like black glass. Her eyes were sharp, glowing like blue fire. Behind her dragged a beast, chained, angry, snarling. It had 6 legs, a mouth full of sharp teeth and dark skin like cracked rock. Her voice echoed through the arena, translated into his language. "Why aren't you trembling, human? One word from me and my pet will devour you." The crowd exploded in laughter and cheers again, but the man didn't move, didn't flinch. He looked up, his eyes calm. She tilted her head. "Still silent?" she asked. "Do you not understand? You are the entertainment. You will scream, you will beg, and then you will die." Still, he didn't answer, only watched her. He was scanning, looking for weakness, a pattern, a signal. A loud voice from above announced, "Let the game of teeth begin." The chains were dropped. The beast roared and charged toward the human. Everyone leaned forward. But something strange happened. Right before the beast leapt, it stopped. It froze, its yellow eyes locked with the human's. The human didn't look, scared. He raised one hand slowly, even with the cuffs. Just a small motion, a calm one. The beast didn't move. The alien woman's face changed, confused, angry. "Attack! I said attack!" The beast growled, but stayed still. The human took one step forward. The crowd murmured. Something wasn't right. This wasn't how the game usually went. "What's going on?" someone shouted. "Why isn't the beast attacking?" The woman walked forward, pulling out a sharp blade that hummed with red light. She pointed it at the man's chest. "You did something. What did you do?" The human finally spoke. His voice was soft, but every speaker in the arena picked it up. "I didn't do anything. Your beast simply remembers me." "Remembers you?" she repeated. "That's impossible." He looked at the beast again. "These creatures, they were not born wild. You made them, modified them, changed their memories, changed their instincts, but not their soul." The alien crowd laughed again, nervous this time. The woman clenched her jaw. "Lies. It's a creature of war, a weapon." The human stepped closer to the beast, now only inches away. Even weapons remember their creators. The beast lowered its head. It didn't growl. It didn't bite. It bowed. The crowd gasped. So did the woman. "Impossible," she whispered. The man turned toward her, still calm, still in control. "You brought me here to die, but your monster chose me." Silence filled the arena. The beast, a creature made to kill without thought, was now sitting beside the human, calm like a loyal dog. Its massive body rested, tail curled, eyes half closed. The alien woman stared in disbelief. She lowered her blade, but her hands were still shaking. "You tricked it," she whispered. "You used some device. Tell me what you did." The human smiled faintly. "You think everything can be controlled with buttons and tech, but this isn't about tricks. This is about memory," she frowned. "That beast was born on my world. It never left. How can it know you?" The human looked up at the tall walls of the arena, then back at her. "It wasn't born. It was built." The crowd gasped. Some laughed, but others went silent. Those who knew the old rumors. The woman took a step forward, trying to hide her surprise. "Built? What are you talking about?" The human nodded toward the beast. "This creature is based on an old Terran war design, created by humans long ago, back when we were desperate. We made monsters to protect our last colonies. Bio-soldiers, smart, loyal, deadly. But your kind found them after we fell silent. Your scientists reprogrammed them, changed their bodies, twisted their minds, erased their past. He looked deep into the beast's eyes. But some things can't be erased. The beast let out a low growl, not at the human, but toward the alien guards surrounding the arena. Its eyes burned, not with rage, but awareness. The woman's face turned pale. That's not possible. Then we wiped everything. We made sure they were ours. You made them slaves, he said, voice colder now. But deep inside, some of them still remembered what it meant to be free. The beast stood now, tall, silent, powerful, but not attacking, just watching. The alien woman's comm device lit up. A voice crackled in her ear. Abort the trial now. Something's wrong. This human, he might be from the lost sector. She crushed the comm under her boot. No, I'll deal with him myself. Drawing another blade from her waist, she walked into the arena fully. Her eyes met the human's. You speak of freedom, then fight me without the beast. If you truly want to be respected here, show us your strength. The crowd roared in agreement. The human looked at her, then at the beast. Stay, he said calmly, and the beast obeyed. The woman charged. Her blade hummed through the air, striking fast, aiming for his shoulder. He moved just in time, not trained like a soldier, but like someone who had seen too many battles to waste. Energy. He ducked, blocked with his cuffs, spun around and kicked her back. The crowd gasped again. She gritted her teeth. You are one of them, aren't you? From the human fleets that vanished into deep space. You're from the ghost colonies. He didn't deny it. He simply said, we didn't vanish. We were left behind. She attacked again, stronger. This time, he took a hit to his side but kept moving. Why are you here? She asked between strikes. To find what's left of us, he said, and to remind you, we're not as broken as you thought. The beast growled again, but held its place. The woman stumbled back after a hard hit. She dropped one blade. The human didn't finish her. He stepped back. I don't want to kill you, he said. I want you to understand. Understand what? He nodded toward the beast. That even your strongest weapons can choose a different path. She stared at the beast again, and for the first time, it stared back, not like a pet or a weapon, but like a living being, with thoughts. Dust floated in the air. The alien woman leaned on her knees, breathing hard. Her blade was broken. Her pride was cracked. Around her, the crowd had fallen into a strange silence. No one knew who was winning anymore. Across from her, the human stood, bruised, but calm. His clothes were ripped, but his eyes still held that same cold confidence. Beside him, the beast stood tall, still unmoving. The woman pointed at the beast, her voice low now. You didn't build that thing, you're lying. The human stepped forward. No, I didn't build it, you did. Or rather, your people did. You trained it, fed it, broke it, reprogrammed it. You made it loyal to your command. Then, how? She started. Because you didn't break all of it. He looked at the beast. Your training methods are strong, but you forgot something simple. A memory isn't always in the brain. Sometimes it's in the body, in the senses, in the soul. The beast made a sound. A quiet, deep hum. It wasn't a growl. It was like a vibration, as if remembering something far away. You trained it, the human continued, but you trained it for the wrong master. The woman slowly stood up. So it was never mine to begin with? He shook his head. It was always waiting, for someone who reminded it of what it used to be. She stared at the creature now, really looked at it, and for the first time, it looked back at her like an equal, not a slave. A memory stirred inside her, a flash from training days. When she first met the creature, it had refused to eat. For days. until a visiting human prisoner was brought in, broken and silent. The beast had looked at him with peace. She never understood why, until now. "That was you," she said. "You were one of the prisoners, one of the originals." He nodded, and the beast remembered. She swallowed hard. "Why didn't you escape back then?" His eyes darkened. "I did, but not before they turned my brothers into weapons." The beast growled again, but it was a sad, low sound, a kind of pain. The crowd above began to grow restless. "Finish it," someone shouted. "And the human! This is no battle!" yelled another. "This is a joke!" Guards at the gate began to move. The alien leaders were getting nervous, but the human didn't move. "This isn't a joke," he said, loud and clear. "This is a reminder. You made a mistake. You thought humans were extinct. You thought we were weak. You thought your beast would kill me." He placed his hand gently on the creature's massive head. "But you trained it for me." Suddenly, alarms began to ring across the arena. Red lights flashed above. Someone had pulled the emergency signal. "Close the gates, lock them in," a voice shouted from the towers. Guards rushed down. The woman looked at the human. "They're going to execute us both. They'll call it betrayal," he smiled. "Then maybe we should give them a real reason to fear us." The beast roared, so loud the entire arena shook. Chains shattered. Walls cracked. One leap and it was at the guard gate, ripping through steel like paper. The audience screamed and scattered. Panic spread like wildfire. The woman stood beside, the human now. "Are you using me?" she asked, voice tight. He looked at her calm. "No, but I'll stand beside you, if you choose the truth." She hesitated, then nodded. "Let's show them what they trained into their worst nightmare." The arena was falling apart. Screams echoed from the upper levels as the beast tore through steel and stone like it was made of paper. Alien guards tried to stop it, firing energy blasts, throwing nets, yelling commands. Nothing worked. It had remembered who it truly was, and now it was free. In the center of the arena, the human stood calmly. Dust and sparks flew around him, but his eyes remained steady. Beside him, the alien woman, Princess Varel, held her sword tight. Her people were watching. Her leaders were watching. If she didn't act, she would be seen as a traitor. She had trained all her life for this moment, but her hands were trembling. "Kill him now!" came the voice of her commander through her helmet. She didn't move. "Do it, Varel!" the voice shouted again. "For your honor, for your bloodline." She looked at the human, this calm, quiet man who had turned her world upside down. "Why aren't you afraid?" she asked softly. "Because I've already lost everything," he replied. "There's nothing left to fear." She stepped closer, raising her sword. "You came here to destroy us." "No," he said. "I came to remember who we were, and maybe remind you of what you could be." Her grip tightened. "I'm not weak. I never said you were." She swung her sword down and stopped, it just inches from his neck. Her hands shook. Her blade hummed. Her breathing grew faster. "Do it!" The commander's voice screamed again, but she couldn't. Her knees hit the ground. She dropped the sword. "I can't." The arena went silent again. Even the beast paused, watching her. "You're the daughter of the high blood," the commander hissed through her calm. "You are the sword of our world. If you do not kill him, we will." She looked up at the human. "I don't know why I'm doing this. I've never hesitated before." "Because deep inside," the human said gently, "you're more than what they told you to be." Suddenly, a sharp blast hit the human from behind. He fell forward, groaning. A sniper shot from the arena wall. Varel turned, furious. "No!" Guards dropped down from the upper level, rushing toward the center. Weapons ready. "Execute both of them," a high voice ordered. "They've betrayed the blood." "Oath!" The beast roared in defense, leaping between the guards and the fallen human. Varel picked up her sword again. But this time, she pointed it at her own people. "Back away," she shouted. "He is under my protection now." The guards froze. "You would betray us?" one asked. "For him?" "No," she said, her voice shaking. "I am betraying a lie." She looked around the arena, at the broken walls, the terrified crowd, the twisted system that had made beasts out of men and monsters out of children. All my life I was told to kill anything that questioned our strength. But now I wonder if strength without truth is just fear in a pretty dress. She turned to the human. He was wounded but conscious, bleeding from the side. "You still have fight left?" she asked. He nodded weakly. "Always." She lifted him to his feet, putting his arm over her shoulder. "Then let's walk out of here alive and burn their lies behind us." Together, with the beast guarding their back, they moved toward the exit. The guards watched them go, too unsure, too shaken, to follow. And far above, in the shadowed throne box, an ancient figure stood, the overlord watching, silent, cold, plotting. The once roaring crowd had fallen into complete silence. Smoke curled from the edges of the broken arena. Fire flickered in corners. Blood and dust stained the floor. And in the middle of it all, the strangest sight no one could have imagined. An alien princess helping a wounded human walk, and behind them a beast, once a feared killer, now their guardian. No one cheered. No one moved. They just stared. The giant screens above the arena, still active, showed close-up footage of the human's calm face and the princess's trembling hands. Words weren't needed. This wasn't a victory. It was a revelation. The guards near the exit were frozen, unsure what to do. Shoot? Arrest them? Or bow? Varel looked up at the crowd. "I was one of you," she said, her voice broadcast through the arena. "I was your champion, your blade. But today, I saw the truth." No one interrupted. "We were taught that humans were animals, lost, broken. But this one didn't kill. He won without violence. And when I tried to strike him down," she looked at her shaking hand. "I couldn't." The overlord stood high in his viewing tower, watching everything. He tapped a small device on his throne's side. Suddenly, dozens of small drones flew out from hidden doors in the arena walls. Red lights glowed under them, target locked. Varel saw them coming. "Get behind me," she told the human. But the human shook his head. "No." He raised his voice to the sky. "You taught them to fear, to obey, to forget. But your fear made you weak." The drones hovered in a circle, ready to fire. The beast growled loud and stood between the drones and the human, its muscles tightened. "Fire now," the overlord whispered. But nothing happened. The drones didn't move. Their lights blinked once, then turned blue. Varel blinked in shock. "What's happening?" The human reached into his pocket and pulled out a tiny round chip. Something nearly invisible. "This is a signal key," he explained. "When your people reprogrammed our creatures, they used stolen tech. My tech. It only took one signal to override it all." The drones dropped their weapons. The crowd gasped. The overlord stood up in fury, slamming his metal fist on the control panel. "Cut the broadcast," he screamed. Too late. Every screen across the city, no, across the planet, was already showing the scene live. Aliens in homes, schools, bases, all watching one human disable their system with just a whisper and a memory. The crowd didn't know what to feel anymore. Fear, shock, or something else? In the front row, a young alien child whispered to her father, "Is the human the hero? The..." Father didn't answer. In the arena, Varel looked at the man beside her. "You came here to fight," she said. "But what you did today, it changed everything." He looked at her, I didn't come to fight. I came to wake you up. The beast turned toward the main gate and roared. The door opened slowly, creaking under its old weight. Light poured in, and they walked through it, together. Not as enemies, but as proof. Proof that even the loudest lies break under quiet truth. Behind them, the crowd remained silent. But deep within that silence, something had begun to shift. A crack in the wall of fear, a whisper between generations, and the fall of an empire had quietly begun. The metal gate slammed shut behind them. Outside the arena, the sky was dark with warships. Searchlights scanned the city. The alarm sirens howled like wounded ghosts. They had escaped the arena, but not the system. Virel and the human leaned against a broken wall in an abandoned street. The beast stood guard like a statue, eyes glowing, scanning the shadows. The human clutched his side where the sniper had struck him. "You're bleeding," Virel said. "I've been worse," he replied with a faint smile. Virel looked around. "They'll be here soon, and this time they won't bring chains, they'll bring bombs." The human looked at her seriously. "Then we need to end this before they do." Suddenly a shadow fell over them. A figure stood on the rooftop above. Tall. Silent. Surrounded by floating drones shaped like silver blades. And then, he jumped down, landing without a sound. He wore a cloak of living metal, and his face was hidden behind a mirror mask. His very presence made the air heavier. Virel froze. "Master," she whispered. The human stood, weak but steady. "Who is he?" She stepped forward slowly, then dropped to one knee. But she didn't bow to the human. She bowed to him. "He is the Overlord's voice," she said. "My true commander." The masked figure spoke, his voice smooth, deep, and oddly human. "You have disappointed us, Virel. You were our finest sword, and yet here you kneel beside our enemy." She didn't look up. "He is not our enemy." The voice raised a hand. One of the blade drones buzzed louder. "You forget who made you strong, who gave your people the stars." Virel stood slowly. "You didn't give us the stars. You gave us a leash and told us it was a crown." The voice tilted his head. "You sound like him now, like a human." "Maybe that's not a weakness." The voice turned toward the human. "You should have stayed dead." The human wiped the blood from his mouth. "You should have left us buried. Instead, you woke us." The voice stepped forward, and the IIR blade drones followed like hungry wolves. "You have 3 choices," the voice said. "Bow, bleed, or burn." The beast growled, its body tense, but the human didn't flinch. "You forgot one," he said. "Oh?" "Break." With a small movement, the human pressed the signal chip again, this time pulsing red. From the rooftops, more drones appeared, but these weren't enemy drones. They were human tech, old, forgotten, hidden in orbit, now awakened. The voices, blade drones paused mid-air, then slowly turned. Their lights flickered from red to white and aimed at the voice. He stepped back. "What have you done?" "You stole our creations," the human said. "But you didn't understand them. These machines, they don't just obey signals, they obey justice." The drones fired, but not to kill. They surrounded the voice, trapping him in a sphere of light. A prison made of energy. He screamed, voice distorting through the mask. "This isn't over." "No," the human said. "This is where it begins." Virel stepped toward the glowing prison. "I spent my life kneeling to people like you, but from now on, I bow to no one." She turned to the human. Not even to him. He looked surprised. "Then who will you bow to?" She smiled softly. "Only to truth. Only to what I believe in." They stood together, under a broken sky, as the silent war around them paused for just a moment. And across the stars, rebel signals began to blink. The message had been sent, the Empire had cracked, and for the first time in generations, freedom had a voice. The skies had changed. What was once filled with the Empire's warships was now littered with blinking signals. Ancient human satellites reactivated, hidden codes coming alive, and rebel frequencies spreading like wildfire. Across alien worlds, screens flashed with one message: the humans have returned. But in the heart of the broken arena city, silence stood between three figures. The voice of the Overlord floated inside the glowing prison of light, face hidden behind a cracked mirror mask. He hissed from within. The alien Princess Varel stood still, breathing heavy, sword lowered, heart no longer chained, and beside her, the human, wounded, tired but unshaken. His fingers still held the signal chip. Behind them, the beast, once called monster, now called brother, waited. The voice laughed. You think this is victory? This is just noise. The Empire stretches across galaxies. You're nothing but a whisper. The human looked up at him calmly. A whisper can become a roar, if you let it speak. The voice snarled, struggling. Then speak, say the word, kill me, show them you're no better than us. The beast took a step forward. Its mouth opened, its claws scraped the ground. Say the word, it growled in a deep, intelligent voice. And I will obey. Varel looked at the human. He stared at the creature, his weapon, his protector, his last living memory of a past long buried. What will you choose, human? She asked. You won. He's helpless. He's cruel. He would have burned your kind to dust if you let him. So? She stepped back. Say it. The moment stretched. The crowd watched from behind broken screens and scattered comm devices. The universe held its breath. The human finally spoke. No. The beast blinked. You do not wish me to kill? No. Because if I do that, then I'm no different from them. He looked at the voice. You wanted me to give in to anger. You wanted me to become your mirror. The voice said nothing. But I won't be your reflection. He turned to Varel. Let the galaxy see this. Let them see that we could have destroyed him, and we chose not to. Varel nodded. Then what happens now? The human looked to the sky where thousands of eyes now watched from hidden corners of the stars. Now, they decide. Suddenly, all the drones began to broadcast a live message. The human's voice echoed through the stars. We are not gone. We are not broken. We are human, and we do not kneel. Across the Empire's systems, rebellions sparked. On slave worlds, creatures once silenced began to rise. Old allies awakened. Old enemies reconsidered. The balance had shifted. But, back in the city, the human turned once more to the beast. Your chains are broken. Your choice is yours now. The beast lowered its massive head. Then I choose to follow you, not as a master, but as a friend. And with that, it walked beside him. Silent. Proud. Varel looked up at the towers of her home, now dark and crumbling. There's nothing left for me there. Then come with us, the human said. We'll build something new. Not a kingdom of fear, but a future. She nodded. I'll follow you too. No, he said with a small smile. You'll walk with me. And so they walked forward. Three figures. A human who chose mercy, an alien who chose truth, and a beast who chose freedom. Behind them, the stars began to burn with hope. The Empire had ruled with fear for centuries. But now something stronger had awakened, something no power could program or chain. Choice, memory, and the human will to rise. Again.